Hey, WPG, good morning. As you can see, it's cloudy here. Not really all that much going on. Hey, Brenda, good morning. Hope you're doing well, and I hope your little angel is well. Here comes Ed. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning, Paul.
How are you doing?
Doing very good, thanks. And you?
Another day in paradise, as they say.
How's, how's Boom doing this morning?
It's kind of cloudy today. Temperature is up though. It's 52 degrees, but it's going to go down to like 32 over the period of the day. So It's
Good
it's
morning.
it's doing this up and down thing that it always does every spring and every fall. It goes up and down, you know.
Yeah, same here. It's supposed to be -9 today and then tomorrow +7.
Good morning,
So,
Jim. How you doing?
good morning, Sunstar. Good morning, Jim.
Sunstars. Her real name is Brenda, Ed. In case you didn't know.
I'm bad with names, so to remember names, I'm bad. So,
Yeah.
I got to make a list and put it in front of my computer with everybody's names.
Bone stop. Well, I think I'm just going to open the door and let him run a little bit. He ran for an hour this morning, back and forth and back and forth, and now he's
Okay.
over by the back door, kind of whining. So be right back, Ed.
Yeah, no, go ahead. How's everyone doing in the chat today? Any big plans for you guys in the chat there? My plans for today is get my truck wash, go to Home Depot, pick up some paint, paint the house. That's my plan for today. Is it gonna get done? Don't know. But the truck for sure is gonna get washed. I'm doing pretty good, thanks, Jim. Just got back from driving my daughter to work, and traffic was light today for a Wednesday, so. Here is cold and a little bit windy, so I don't want to take the chance, go flying. I want to, but
It's a little cold and windy there.
yeah, it is.
What's
20
the
minus.
what's the
So
most wind you've flown in or fly in, or doesn't it matter?
I flew. Oh, last time I tried to fly the drone, the Mini 3 was probably 20, 20 to 30.
20 to 30, yeah.
Yeah, and it
I
was,
fly regularly in 35 to 38 mile an hour winds because of the bridge and everything, you know.
and I found it like a little bit wavy, you know what I mean? Like it couldn't stay up properly.
Now,
So
Ed, what are you flying?
the Mini 3 Pro.
The Mini 3 Pro, okay. I'm flying I pretty much exclusively now. I haven't flown my Flip but one time, and I've had it now for like since it was introduced. I'm flying the Air 3S, Air 2S.
Yeah, that's the one you need your special license, right? Your 107.
Well, I've got a 107 license, but I don't do any commercial. You don't have to you don't have to have a commercial license unless you're doing commercial work. In other words, like if I was to go do real estate, or if I was to go to do inspections or those kinds of things, then you have to have a Part 107 license.
Yeah, but isn't that heavier than 249?
Yep.
I thought anything over 249 you need is
Only
permit.
if you're doing commercial, I believe that's what it used to be. Maybe they've changed that, but I've been a 107 pilot licensed, oh gosh, ever since they came out with the 107.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm one of those kind of people, Ed, that if they offer something, you take it and do it, you know?
Yeah, yeah, no. And the coldest I tried to fly mine was minus 20, I think it was, and it did pretty good. It
That's
didn't freeze on
minus 20 Celsius or Fahrenheit.
minus cold.
So Fahrenheit, 20 degrees minus Fahrenheit.
I guess so, yeah. I don't know how that works.
Well,
Celsius.
zero in Fahrenheit is zero. Zero in Celsius is like up around 32 degrees.
Okay. So it was minus 20. So
Okay. Yeah, you got to be careful because the batteries get so cold. You know, you got to have warm batteries to start with.
yeah, I had them in my pocket and it did pretty good. I mean, I didn't fly for that long, probably 10 minutes, and it did pretty good. I mean, the blades didn't freeze up, nothing. I just wanted to try it out. And
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of like you. If I want to fly, I'm going to fly no matter what, unless it's like a hurricane or something, you know? Boone, what you doing? Come on, Boone.
you left the door open so he comes in.
Yeah, I got the door open. He was just wandering around down at the bottom. He was just poking around right in this area here. I'm
Look at
kind of
that,
lucky.
eh?
This is the house that my parents brought me home when I was born, right here.
Nice.
But
Is that a school behind you, if you
Yep,
don't mind me
yep.
asking?
Yep, that's an intermediate. It was an intermediate school up through the 8th grade, and there used to be when I was in school here. There was a football field ran from about here all the way over to here. Right now, there's a soccer field out here. Doesn't get used much, other than a little bit of practice in the spring.
So you didn't have to go that far to school then, you just had to.
No, I
Get school.
just went over here. Elementary, you went in these doors, and regular school, you went in these doors. You know, like 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Elementary, you go in here.
Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Ed.
Hey,
Good morning, Paul.
Going.
Well, middle of the afternoon.
Precious keeping you going today.
Or should I say the middle of the afternoon already for you?
1 o'clock.
What's
Well,
that?
Gone 1 o'clock.
What's that, Ed?
Oh, I'm saying good in the middle of the afternoon for Mark, not morning.
Yeah. 10 past 1 in the afternoon, yeah.
Well, Precious keeps them going, you know. Precious weigh, how much did Precious weigh again, Mark?
Around 120 pounds.
120-pound dog. Now, does he sleep in the bed with you or no?
Well, usually when I go to bed, she's sleeping downstairs, but she will end up on the bed with me before the end of the night.
Yeah, before the night's over with. In other words, there's times you wake up and there he is in bed with you, right?
She.
Oh, 2 of them.
No, she.
She.
Precious is a she.
He wakes up in the morning, she has her arms around him and everything.
Yeah.
No, she's sort of taking over the bed and pushing me out.
Pushing you out of the bed.
My little guy sleeps downstairs on the sofa. And he's funny too. He knows like by 9 o'clock, 9:30, he closes it and lays there by himself.
Well, you know, I've only had Boone now, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe. And he's gotten pretty used to the house, and he goes and sleeps wherever he wants. But like you say, it gets to start getting to be dark about 6:30, 7 o'clock. He's on the couch right next to me because I got one of those electric reclining chairs that I sleep in, and he sleeps right over here next to me. He's got his own little blankies, and he sleeps throughout the night.
I should take a video one time when he's sleeping at night. My dog sleeps weird. He sleeps on his back with his belly up, with his legs up like this.
Sometimes Boone does the same thing. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and he's on his back and his legs up like this, or on his side, and you know. Hey, Joe.
Hey, what's
Good
up?
morning, Joel.
Joe's the expert animal trader. He trains those animals. They don't bother him at all. They do everything he says.
That's right.
Yeah, I joke.
Hey, Mark, what's up?
Joe, you have them trained to go to the fridge and grab you a beer?
I tried, but they drink it first, so I quit.
Bone. I don't know. Can you hear Boone?
No.
No.
Okay. He's outside the window out here barking, and just barking because there's probably squirrels or birds out there.
That's
So,
his
Mr.
job.
Joe, Mr. Joe, what's on your agenda for today?
Well, I'm gonna take it easy today a little bit. I'm waiting for some pictures to come in. If they come in today, I gotta get them finished. So I need to try to, if I get them in early enough, I need to have everything. I'd like to get them to North Shore today, the school, to get rid of them, just to have them out at my hair. But I have a gut feeling they're not gonna get them to Monday. Because I think it's gonna come in too late to get them to the school. Tomorrow I can't get them to the school. Friday they gotta track me somewhere else, so then it's gonna have to be Monday.
Oh, so you don't do your pictures in your house? Like, in
Oh
your
no,
studio? Oh,
no.
okay.
He sends it,
When I
he,
put-
he sends it all house. He does his editing at home.
Yeah, I do all my video work and stuff here. I do all my editing on the pictures here. I send them to a lab in Maryland. And if I put it like this, when I do football, I've got over 700 line items usually with football. So that's 700 pictures I don't have to print.
Okay,
Yeah.
makes sense. And it's probably cheaper too that way.
Oh yeah, I deal. Since I work with schools, I'm able to go. I got a company out in Maryland called National School Prints, and you got to prove that you work with the schools, and they'll give you a special. This it's actually a part of Nations Photo Lab, and what they do is if I go to Nations and buy the prints, it's like for 8x10 cost me like $349 or something like that. And if I go through National School Prints, it's $1.34 for the same thing. And so I stick around the 8x10 because you get an 8x10 for $1.34. You get two 5x7s for $1.34. But you get a 5x7 and 4 wallets for $1.34. So I use that 8x10 format. So I offer two 5x7, 8 wallets. That cost me $2.68. I charge them 20. You know, so that's how I do it.
Nice.
So it's just, I've got the box of everything over there. I would have had it finished yesterday, but I was sitting in the back about a week ago. I sent it out on a Sunday night. Monday afternoon, one of the guys that buys a lot from me calls me, and I said, "Yeah," I said, "I forgot to put his picture in that order that he asked me about. I just didn't think about it. It was for somebody else, so I just didn't even think about it." So I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to place another order. I'll go get it in today." I said, "Because I went through the list and I went, oh damn." I did all the individual pictures. I forgot to put the group team picture in the order. So I had to reorder the group team picture. Yesterday it was in Dallas. So I'm waiting for it to get here. So I'm not going to put them together until I get that because it's worse trying to open the packages back up than to put them all in at once. Unless
Hey,
you
Lance
Lance, you know,
is here.
if you Lance, then you don't have a problem.
Yeah, Lance
Good morning,
Lance
Mr.
got a
Lance.
perfect
He just
world. He lives in.
he'd have his students do it.
That's where I am. That's where I am right now, guys.
Oh,
Oh, he's flying.
still dark there.
Yeah, flying the
Hey,
space needle.
Lance, what was the final score last night?
Ugly. 90. Is it 93, 80, 93, 68, 95.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
95. Yeah.
The 3 points were killing y'all.
Yeah, on both sides. We weren't making them, and they made 10 of 15 at one point, which is
Yeah, I know.
ridiculous. That was the 30-point spread right there.
Yep.
Good morning, Frank.
I was watching it. I lost track of the score, and I don't know what I did. I switched the channel for some reason.
Hey,
Yeah,
Frank, good morning.
Maybe because I needed to.
yeah. I can't believe we stayed in the bar the whole time. It was pathetic. But North Carolina had a chip. They had something to prove. So
I'm gonna eat my English muffin and preserve,
Oh,
or as they would say properly, my
What,
crumpet and jam.
what kind of preserve is on top of that?
Strawberry.
Strawberries. Okay, because look from here, it looks almost like a tomato base.
Nah.
I was gonna
Red,
say.
go. Go. Go.
So Lance,
You're done, go.
when do you guys get spring break up there?
So I don't get it until the 7th of April. My wife gets it the 28th of April, or I mean of March.
Of March, okay.
So she gets it a week before I do. This is about as late as we've ever had spring break, and I can't remember how long.
That's kind of late.
Well, how late do you go to school? School's in session until when?
Don't ask me. I'll get pissy. June 20th.
Holy crap.
It's a half a day. The 19th we don't have school. So the last full day is the 18th. We don't have school the 19th. We come back half a day on the 20th.
Straight into June, my goodness.
And
No,
when do you guys start again?
we started
June
late
30th.
this year, like the 11th of September. Somebody mute the dog.
I've been trying
They
to.
start school again June 30th.
Oh, Lance, I muted you by mistake.
Yeah.
Now can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, June 20th is our last day. We start about the 11th of September, and it changes every year. We used to start the Wednesday, the kids did, the Wednesday after Labor Day.
Yep.
But
That's when around here they start like 2 days after Labor Day,
yeah, but we start even further from Labor Day because they have teacher days that week now usually. So, we start even later, which is okay because I only have a couple years left. I don't have to complain about it.
Hey, Joe, Brenda's still working on her little angel. She said that she peed on the floor this morning, and she also pooped on the floor.
Yeah,
So
that's normal for a puppy.
a little bit of learning curve there. Yep.
So Angel had to bail on me. He couldn't make it today because he had his kids, and Glenn might make it up. He said I might make it up there, and he lives further than I do from Seattle. So
it's 6:22 there.
Yeah,
Okay.
and still dark. I wanted to get up here before, because in a month it's going to be light right now at this time, and this is about as early as I can get up here during the week. And I wanted to get one more night shot before the season ends.
Come on, Boner. Standing by the back door.
He's
I
waiting
have
for his
12
friends to come
bars,
out.
25 satellites. I'm in good shape.
Watch out for that white bird.
I've got my greens. I turned my strobe to green just because when I hit my button, that's what it defaulted to today. So I'll leave it at green. That's okay. Doesn't matter what color it is.
See, the
I
squirrels
prefer-
run up and down along between the garage and the house here.
I prefer white.
I got a gate at the far end. So he's looking down there. So now there he goes. He goes running down there.
I trained him well. He's going to get a squirrel.
I scold him. I'm telling him that I tell him that his Uncle Joe is going to be pissed at him if he touches one of those squirrels.
Oh, he's gonna eat the squirrel. Trust me.
Joe, I wonder where he's gonna do it when he catches one.
I wouldn't want to watch it, you know.
Oh, he probably just play with him, give him a couple slaps.
It all depends on the squirrel. The squirrel bites him, he's done. He's gonna grab a squirrel and bring it to Paul and bring it inside and drop it on the thing. And the squirrel's gonna be inside, and that's gonna be the end of it.
Oh, just imagine.
Go, go.
Now, have you
Yeah,
ever
from
had
the
anything like
get-go.
that happen? Did any of your dogs ever bring something inside?
Not mine.
We had a bird at my dad's one time. Flew inside a house. Oh, we had a hard time getting that thing out of the house.
I had a German Shepherd when I was about 16. That there was a guy in our garage in the back. This is one of them that was still be police trained, and she was about a year old, and she stayed outside 90% of the time, and she was on our. We lived upstairs and we had a patio that was like the first floor, at the top of the first floor. Then you went downstairs again, and I heard her creeping down the stairs in the middle of the night, and I could hear her growling. I figured it was a cat or something near the yard. That's usually what it was about. And I heard her kind of walk. You could hear her walk across the patio because it was tin. It had a tin roof on it, like
Yeah.
so you could hear the feet hit it. And I'm saying, man, she's trying to sneak up on this cat. It's about midnight. So I hear her barking and running to the back of the yard. And I'm saying, yeah, she saw something in the back. She's running them out. So the next morning, I go out there and I look at her, and she's got blood underneath her neck. And I check her, and I can't see if she's hurt or anything. So I said, well, where is this from? So she walks me to the back of the yard. And when she gets me to the back of the yard, she walks me over to a piece of pants leg that's by the fence, and there's blood right there. And when I went to pick up the pants leg, there's a piece of the guy's leg in it. So she caught a guy in the garage, run him out the garage, and as he was going over the fence, she bit the piece of his calf off.
Oh, wow.
And there's a blood trail. So I hollered at my dad. I said, call the police. I said, we got a problem. And I went in the garage, and nobody was in there. The police came out. They followed the blood trail down the street, and it went underneath the house. And they found the guy who had blood out underneath the house. But she did what she was supposed to do. She kept him out the yard, you know.
The guy bled out.
He bled out. They found him underneath the house.
Wow.
But the cops looked down and they saw the pants leg, and it had the big piece of meat in there, you know, and all that. It was ironically about 8 months later, my mother's in the backyard with her, and my mother was hanging up clothes, and she was playing with my mom, running around with her,
Yeah.
and she grabbed one of my dad's shirts she went to hang it up, and I was walking down the stairs, and about that time, my mother turned around and slapped her. And when my mother turned around and slapped her, she backed up, did a little 360, and turned around, looked at my mother, and started to walk towards her, and was showing teeth because she was trained against aggression.
Yeah.
And I had to holler at her, make her lay down. In fact, she almost didn't listen to me at first. And I
Really?
told her down, and she got down. And my mother said, was she going to bite me? I said, did you slap her? I saw it. I said, you know how she's trained? I said, because we trained it just like we trained everybody else, everyone else, you know. And my mother walked inside and she said, oh, she's fine. I said, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to let you go outside and I'm going to watch, but I'm not going to let her know I'm watching. So she went outside and she was standing down there and she was walking around stalking her. And it was funny. When she started walking towards her, she'd show teeth. And I said, I got outside, called her back, I said, come here. Put it next to her and said, come inside, Mom. Got inside, got on the phone call, called the people we knew at the police department. I said, I have a dog for you. I told them what happened and they took her. but I couldn't leave her there. She'd have bit my mom easy. Because she became an enemy, when she hit her.
That's the thing. Dogs are very smart. They're not.
I think this dog she was smart, but she could be stupid at times. She went and laid out in the middle of the street one morning and got hit by a car. Got rolled around down the street. Just got a couple of abrasions, one little contusion on her, and come up, and I had to clean her up and everything. But she just climbed the fence and go lay out in the middle of the street. You know, that she stopped doing it after that point.
Maybe she's seen a squirrel.
No, it wasn't a squirrel. She was just going out and checking the neighborhood out. That's what she was doing. And I had a cocker spaniel that would climb the fence, so she followed him. Yeah, he'd be out there by the fence and be smelling. And he'd catch a whiff of a female down the street, climb the fence, and come back a week later. I mean, this happened twice, 2 or 3 times a month. I look up, he'd be gone. And about a week later, he'd come prancing down the street,
Yeah, it sounds like every guy in college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning, Justin.
You should have got that dog a vest that had, like a Missouri,
Yeah.
like college student.
Yeah, he lived almost 19 years.
Wow.
Probably has whole bunch of puppies on the street that Joe doesn't even know.
We
Right?
had more puppies on, I don't know, we didn't know about.
What's up, Brenda, Jim, Jody?
The funny part about it, my brother had a cocker spaniel, same color, looked almost the same, and it would take off down the street. And we joked about that. We said, "What if it's part of one of his litters? Like a descendant from one of the litters."
Yeah.
It was years later, but he did a different thing. He'd take off. He'd go outside. They didn't have a fence. He opened the thing. He'd go out, use the yard right there, and he'd come in all the time. But every once in a while, he would go downstairs, use his business, take off down the street, right? But he'd come back. He didn't come back prancing like that. He'd come back with a slice of pizza or a piece of chicken. Yeah. I mean, everybody in the neighborhood knew him. And one day he come back, he had like a rotisserie chicken. He had one of them that was picked clean except for the bones. And he coming back with the rotisserie chicken. Yeah, he lived about 17 years.
Precious. Be quiet. Stop it.
Oh, man. Oh.
Justin, this is the middle of the week that Justin's got a week, nothing to do.
All he's been
No,
doing
I
is
just woke up and I have not slept in this late in a long time. I'm usually up by 7 o'clock.
Well, here's the question I would have, because you sleep usually set times because of your job. Do you find that it's hard once you go back to doing your job and having to get up at 5:30 in the morning that you don't wake up as easily?
No, I don't have a
Okay.
problem with that. I get up at 4. I don't get up at 5:30.
Okay.
I have to be out the door by like 4:10. Usually I get up at like 3:50. I'll get in the shower, take a quick shower, get out, get dressed.
Now, what
grab
time
all
do you
my stuff
turn in?
together, and I'm out by 4:10. What?
What time do you go to bed? Sleep.
Around 9 o'clock at night. I don't stay up past 9.
The kids don't bother you going to bed that early?
No. It did when they were younger, and I used to work 4 to 1 at Walmart. It was a pain in the ass having to go to bed that early. Because the kids would be up all fucking... would be up running around and shit all the time. But now if they're teenagers, they're a little bit calmer. They kind of stay in their rooms. But they were little kids, and they were like 5, 6, 7 years old. They were running around everywhere, being loud and shit. I just can't believe I slept this late. Feels weird.
Brenda says good hi, gives you a big hello there, Justin.
Morning, Brenda and Jim.
Here's one of the,
Posters? That's nice.
here's one of the posters.
Now, is that gonna be hung on the outside or?
Yeah, it goes on the fence, but they're probably not gonna put this one on the fence. They only had one track meet, and that's over with. And I ordered this one for the guy. He changed his pose, and I printed the wrong one.
Okay,
So I gotta give him this one. I was hoping he said, that's all right, but he said, no, I'll take the other one. It cut about $24 into my profit. But I make enough money off of them, it's not, it doesn't matter.
So you said they only had one track meet?
At their school,
Uh,
they got track meets every Friday and some Saturdays. But only one, they only hosted one, and that was last week.
So do they leave them posters on the fence all the time, or do they take them home?
Well, they might leave them on the fence till track's over. You know, but since
really
it's
up to
only
the
one
parent,
week, they
though,
might
right?
take them down right away.
yeah, but it's really up to the parent because they buy it and they can decide what they want to do with it.
Well, it's kind of up to the coach. If the coach makes the parents buy it, but they're for the fence. You know, they have them afterwards, you know?
What do you mean he makes them buy them?
He says he's not buying the posters. He says the parents have to buy the posters. If they want a poster for their senior. That school doesn't have a lot of money.
See, we don't have to worry.
Not like Mandeville where you go in the parking lot and you got Jags, Porsche, Mercedes. You go over there, you got pickup trucks. Yeah.
Fucking 1992 Honda Accords,
Yeah.
Honda Civics, all beat to hell. Still running.
I saw a 60 Falcon over there one day.
Let's say get those old Hondas running around there all clanking and shit, but running on like 400,000 miles.
The CR Axis.
Yeah.
I was going to say some of them pickup trucks cost more than a Mercedes.
Yeah, nowadays they do. Fucking right, they do. People are paying like 15 grand for a truck that's like 20 years old and got like 200,000 miles on it. Like, fuck me.
Mhm.
They're paying $10,000-15,000 for it. Oh yeah, if you got a pickup truck right now, it is the time to sell. Because
I
eventually
made
it will,
me one, so when
down.
I do go to a meet, I got one that'll go on my car where I'm at. Let me find it. Get it to work. Get it to work kind of.
That's just a little
That's a
sample.
cool banner.
Yeah, a little vinyl I could put out there. And it's got my thing, and then on the bottom it's got the. Come on, hold on. It's not gonna let me do it. I gotta turn it back off to show you. Oh, I'll
Yeah,
just
it's
turn it
just a
back
little
off.
it's just a little sample poster for them to look at.
Look at that. He even put his favorite drone out on the side.
Yeah, it's got the 3 drones on it.
Have you ever
USA
looked
Drone
at Joe's?
Fire, then it's got the 1 million views.
You ever looked at Joe's logo? He has one of the busiest logos I've ever seen in my life.
That's right. Oh shoot, I don't want that one up there. It's got Laura's thing on it. I don't want Christmas. You have to gotta put Laura's. Yeah, this one's got the USA Drone Fire, Captain Joe America, got my logo. It's got all my other stuff, my Marine Corps stuff. It's got 1 million plus views. Then it's got the dates, July 6th through November 22nd, 2 years later. That looks on the
Nice.
bottom. And I got another one that looks just like the logo in the background, you see. that is, it's got my picture where the other picture's at that I could hang next to it. That's the one on my wall in back of me.
I'm gonna need you to remove that million views thing on there, okay? Because I called YouTube. I was like, Joe's getting a little too big in the head, around. Yelling at single moms.
Hey, all I'm telling you is this. I have a drone. I have a nothing but drone channel that all I put on there is drone videos and shorts. And in 2 years, I hit 1 million views. So
Wow.
You know how hard that is with fucking drone footage. So
I
I
know.
stopped. That's why I stopped with the whole drone thing, because it's fucking, one, I got bored with it, and two, it just wasn't doing anything. Nobody wants to watch, and you know how hard it is to get people to watch drone shit on YouTube. It's really weird too, Ed. So you, because everybody else already on here knows about it, so I'm gonna tell Ed about it. It's really weird. You'll go on Facebook, right, and somebody will start a Facebook group for drones, and they'll get like 20,000 people in there to join it. Everybody's posting shit, but you don't make any money off of Facebook for doing that, right?
right.
But then they'll go over to YouTube. They'll start a YouTube channel. They might go to
Get 3
TikTok
people.
anywhere. And they can't get any of those 20,000 people to move over to that platform where they would be making tons of money. Yeah, it's really weird. I don't understand Facebook. Like, people will join these groups on Facebook, but they won't go outside of that.
Yeah, I didn't do it. I didn't do it to make money. I really didn't. I did it just to spite my daughter. Cause she, when I put it out there and I bought the drone, she stood here and she went, Dad, do you know how old you are? You're gonna have a YouTube channel playing with a drone.
You know, that's the thing. Even the big channels aren't making money anymore, and they've even said that. Like with that one dude from the one that's always starting shit from Mark, you know who I'm talking about. He's from the Netherlands or whatever. The old dude.
Ixvana?
No, not
Yeah,
no, he's
no.
from Britain. You know who
Yeah,
I'm
he
talking
is from
about, the
Britain.
old guy. The one
Yeah,
I
that's
know you're
always
talking about.
was always on Mikey's channel. He talks real fast and shit.
Talking about Peter?
He was always on Mikey's show.
Patrick Morris is from
Yeah, Patrick.
Belgium. No, Patrick's from Belgium, not Netherlands.
Yeah, he's not from there. I'm trying to think who it is.
He was the one that had the huge channel that was always on Mikey's, and he always talked real fast. Yeah. The government. Everybody hates the government. Blah, 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 blah. You know who I'm
Oh,
talking
you're
about.
talking about the big guy.
No, that's Bruce.
Bruce,
He was an
yes.
ex-
He's from New Zealand.
Okay, I knew he was from New something.
He got half of it right.
I didn't know if it was New Hampshire, New Zealand, whatever.
The other side
yeah.
of Australia.
Okay.
I'm glad I
yeah,
swallowed that quick.
No, but Bruce was actually on one of the episodes where Mikey had a bunch of controversy going on. I went back and watched it. But even he admitted that over the last 2 years, he's seen his revenue drastically decline on YouTube. And he had a pretty big channel too. Now, I don't know if that's just to him. I mean, that's one of the channels I've heard say that. But I don't know if that's just exclusive to him, because I know there's a lot of drama around him. But
Bruce did a lot more in remote controlled aircraft rather than drones.
What's up, Dre?
TikTok is taking over. That's why.
Yeah, my daughter's trying to get me to go on some stuff, but she's political side. I went over there the other day, and I tell you what, it's like going to a cult.
TikTok,
My ex's house, it's like a cult.
TikTok's garbage.
Yeah.
It's full of bots. There's so many bots on TikTok. Like I said, if somebody like Elon bought TikTok and actually dug into it, they would realize that like half of the fucking people on it aren't real. Like there are so many bots on TikTok, it's ridiculous. And it's so easy to get
Speaking
banned.
of one, speaking of a bot, he just pops in whenever he wants to start a controversy.
Of course. When y'all talk about Bruce, I'm always gonna pop in.
Morning,
But
Dre.
Dre, I went over to my ex's house the other day. They invited me over for pot roast, and I was trying to think of what the hell this is about. You know, I said, it's going to cost me money, I know. So I went over and I ate the pot roast, and then they're strictly Democrat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're up there going through all this crap, and they start talking trash. I said something about my Social Security. I said, yeah, you better hope you keep your Social Security. I said, I'm not here for that. Okay, leave it go. Then she said, don't get sick. And my ex said, don't get sick because Kennedy's going to put you in a wellness camp. I went, where are you hearing all this shit at? Like that. And they said, on TikTok. I said, okay, there's a problem.
Oh, for
Yeah,
fuck's
that's
sake.
one
Don't
problem.
even admit that's where you got your news from if you're going to start an argument with
You know,
somebody.
I said, and they're trying to get me to go research it on TikTok. I said, no, I'm not. And then 2 days later, I get a call from my ex. Can you lend me $200 till I get paid? Oh, I knew something was up.
Yeah, they're watching some chick with blue hair on TikTok telling them their news.
But I was gonna go back to Justin's little comments on XJet, Bruce.
Yeah, XJet. I was trying to remember his channel name.
Yeah, as that he's got his own issues. He can't even fly in his own town for the most part.
Really?
He's fighting his own local council
yeah.
and stuff. They have basically banned him from flying.
So he's
Damn.
the Mikey of New Zealand.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
And,
I think New
and
Zealand
that's
has
why
a
it's-
little.
that's why I used to get on his case about, I don't, he talk about what he talk about. My thing was he was always trying to make it sound like the FAA owed him an explanation for what happens here in America. And I'm like, dude, you need to worry about what's going on in your own backyard. And now he's paying that price. I said, I
Yep.
always tell him, I said, you don't own no property here. You don't pay no taxes here. You don't vote here. We'll handle our situation ourselves. You take care of New Zealand's situation. Because I always tell them, I said, you don't hear hardly anybody who's an American content creator bashing the EU and their flight restrictions or whatever. We don't bash Canada.
No.
We don't bash Australia, whatever the case is. But he gets on his high horse and he swears up and down how the FAA owes him an explanation for everything they do. And he had a big following in the FPV community
Yeah.
until recently when, like I tried telling before, I said, they thought all these bans and stuff were just going to be for camera drones. I said, dude, it's going to affect the FPV community just as much as it affects everybody else. Because all your parts are being ordered out of a Chinese manufacturer.
Yep.
And like I say, especially when the big old fallout happened about the was it Top Cat or whatever it is, the company that owns a lot of the FPV goggles and other stuff, was selling their stuff to Ukraine during the war. Oh, they just, after that stuff came out, man, it was a big downturn for the FPV community.
Yeah, they're on a dark blue list.
Yeah. So yeah,
it's
Bruce, like I say, he gets on his high horse every once in a while, but now he's trying to fight City Hall in his own town, and he's on the short end of the stick, it looks like.
Oh,
But,
New
but
Zealand
you're right,
must-
Dre. If he doesn't own any property and pay taxes, like I keep telling David and Laura and Mark, look, we already won the war. And the second
No,
part
man, there we
of
go.
that is y'all need to be glad that we helped y'all and you're not speaking German.
Oh my god.
I can't speak German.
That's why you guys should all move to Canada.
I don't think.
Oh,
Mark
hell
would be
no.
used by that. I don't leave the safety of Florida. Thank you.
Canada is going to be the first place we nuke. What are you talking about?
Everything is free over here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was my only beef with XJet is that his constant bashing of the FAA, and he talked about, well, I sent them an email, blah 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 blah, and they never responded to me. I said, why should they be responding to a foreigner? I said, you don't have any rights here to demand.
I think people have the right to comment on other countries' stuff. Just, I guess, yeah, like you said, you're there.
My thing is, how do I make negative comments about things that's going on in the UK when I don't live in the UK?
I'm saying if you're just sitting there like comparing rules or something, I could see that.
But see, that's not what he's doing. He's not doing that.
He was
going right after the FAA, our government, talking about, oh, we're overreaching, we're doing this and that, everything. I said, dude, you don't live here.
Because we
You
do
know?
that all the time where we're just sitting here talking and we'll like compare rules and stuff. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you're
but like
allowed
I
to
say,
do
Yeah, it's different.
we
Yeah.
have a front row seat, firsthand experience on what's going on. I would be very, very ill-advised for me to try to tell Mark what's happening over in the UK, but I don't have a front row seat over there. I don't have a
Right.
daily interaction over there. I would have to refer to Mark's everyday knowledge of what is going on in the UK to enlighten me of what's going on. That, to me, that's the proper tone to have. I just don't go over and say, hey, Mark, your government's all screwed up, blah, blah, blah. I say, I don't know what's going on there on a first-hand basis.
That's all right. Neither do I.
that.
My baby girl.
His
You
last
know?
video that he posted, he got kicked out from City Hall. They kicked him out.
Yeah, he was recording something, big old nice camera setup he had there, and they kicked him right out of the meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they must
Yeah.
have rules where like local cities can like determine airspace
Yeah,
and
I
stuff.
mean, I just say every country has different rules, and like I always tell people in America, don't apply American liberties, constitutional rights, and stuff to other countries. Everybody's not the same. They may be similar, but not exactly the same.
Oh,
Just
for
like,
sure.
just like I said, America has a what we call our social services safety net
Yeah.
system.
Yeah.
Okay, other countries don't have that. It's either you sink or you swim. And other countries may have more than what we have, to where they take care a lot more of their citizens to social programs, and so to speak, that covers everything from housing to whatever else they need. And I say they may be far along than what we are. So I always tell us, I say, I don't have a front row seat to what happens in Canada and how their system takes care of their citizens. And the same thing over in the UK or EU, New Zealand, Australia, anything else. We have to bring Tim on here and see if he's sober enough to let us know. Or Matt with his misinformation behind.
Yeah, I know.
So that's my only beef with him, man. It's just take care of your own backyard. You can compare things, but don't sit here and try to tell us how our government is so bad and how we're just crushing everybody's rights. I said, dude, you don't know what our rights really are and how they'll be applied. I mean, we're finding that out today ourselves with our current administration, where how much authority does the executive branch actually have. And like I tell people, this is why we have a 3-branch system, that the courts are going to be the last one to have the last word.
Okay, I'll pick it up
The problem
shortly.
with him, he knows everything. That's
Bye-bye.
the problem.
Here you go, Dre.
Yeah, well,
See that piece of property?
I see.
You see that piece of property? 350 acres.
Okay.
I'll be flying that tomorrow to get him aerial shots for his MLS listing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He wants
So you
like segments of it, like this.
Yeah, actually, you're just doing some I can't even say photogrammetry, but yeah, photogrammetry type work. So
Yeah, I'll be doing each area is gonna. I'll probably break it up into about 6 or 8 quadrants and do each one, and then I'll get back a little bit and where we go fly, Johnny and I, they've got a place that's 140 acres, the playground, and I can get far enough away that I get the whole playground. So I'm gonna try to get a full shot of the whole thing.
Yeah.
If I can get a full shot of the whole thing, I think it'll make it a lot better.
So it's just I won't say empty land, but I don't see a house anywhere.
Well, there's a house here. There's 2 houses on it. There's one here, and I think that's a pond. There's 2 houses. That might be the other house right here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There's a building here, there's a building here, a building here. But that's a house. Because Dave's going, a friend of mine, he's the real estate guy. he's going to do the layouts of the houses. But he told me he's got a Mini 3 Pro. And he said, "Oh,
Yeah.
hell no." Like that. And he called me up, and the guy asked me, he said, what kind of price you talking about? I said, well, 350 acres, I got to drive 50 miles. I said, so we're talking at least 150 an hour. 'Cause I'm
Mhm.
thinking I'm gonna be up there longer than that. And I said, and it'll probably, I'm
Yep.
not going under 600. That's what I told him,
Mhm.
Do you have
So
like
it's
an
gonna be a
overview?
600 or more.
Do you have like an overview shot from like Google Earth so you know exactly where the property lines
Yeah, that's
are
it
and
right
stuff?
there.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's it right there. And Dave's got one too. But I'm gonna go because it's basically it's got roads around it, and the stream in the back is the boundary. You know, so it's gonna be easy to figure out. And he said the biggest trees out there are sitting somewhere in the neighborhood of about 80 feet. So if I'm up about 250, 300, I should get a good view
Yeah.
if I want to
Well,
get a
at
view
least,
shot.
you know that your hard deck is at least gonna be at 100 feet, so you won't fly nowhere below 100.
Yeah, and I'm gonna bring two drones with me. I'll have the Mavic 3 with me, but I'll bring the Air 2S just in case.
Yeah. Yep. There's something like that. If you're gonna map it, that'd be about 350 acres. That's about 2.5 batteries.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking at least
That's
two
just that's
batteries.
mapping wise, going back and forth lawnmower pattern.
Yeah,
Like free flying, like you're gonna
not
be
sure.
doing. Yeah, you're gonna burn up some batteries just trying to set up shots, trying to get from one location to the other randomly. You're gonna burn up quite a few batteries. Better bring
well,
your
the good news, I'm gonna be right in the middle. I'm going to one of the houses, so I'll be
yeah.
parked by
Well,
one of
I'm
the
just saying
houses.
that, you know, bring,
Yeah.
bring
Okay, look back in there.
your charger. Did you ever get one, the Power 1000 or whatever, or whatever
Yeah, I
you
got one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make sure you bring that. The
Well,
charger.
I'm gonna have four charged batteries with the Mavic 4.
Yeah,
That's
I
about
mean,
40
you'll
minutes
do
apiece.
okay with batteries with that, but I'm just saying that the controller,
Oh,
you'll
I
be
know.
surprised how fast that controller starts ticking down.
Yeah, I'll
The
bring a
Mavic
second
4.
controller with me too.
Mhm.
The Mavic 4, you already got one of those?
Yeah.
I said
that's
Mavic 4. I
right.
keep saying that. Man, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Mhm.
I'm gonna get in trouble when they hear it.
He has one. He's hiding from us.
DJ, I don't want you breaking that NDA now.
I'm trying to break it. I'm telling
Yeah. Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Hey, Lance.
It caught Lance's attention. Look at the
Hey.
Mavic 4. What?
Yeah, you'll only get 4 hours or so out of your remote.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure everything's charged. I'll have my second remote with me just in case.
Yeah, that's the only downside to that controller for the Mavic 3 and some of the other drones is that the controller itself doesn't hold a very long charge. Like you fly about 3 to 4 batteries and you're down to like one bar real quick.
Well, the thing is, I've looked at the picture and I kind of know how I want to do it. So I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna waste a lot of time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna waste a lot of time in it. And the other day I was out with Johnny and I flew 2 batteries and I flew all over that 100 and something acres.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I only used one line on the controller, so that was
Yeah.
a good thing.
Yeah, that's good. Bring your Vada.
Yeah, I
Bring
might
your
do that
Vada.
too.
Yeah, bring that too, and get some down low shots, get some speed looking shots over the property like that. Look like it got like a couple of hills on it. Get some rolling hill shots.
Yeah, we'll leave here. We got to be there for 10 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and I've got to be out of there by 1 at the latest
Mm.
because I have a oncology appointment at 2 back this
okay.
way.
Okay.
So I told him, I said, shoot, yeah, I'll make it. I'll get up there for about 10. It's about 50 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll get up there for 10. He's going to get there for 10. We're going to start shooting. And I'm
Yes.
hoping to be out of there about noon.
Okay.
But you got a point. I'm gonna take the 2 drones for just in case. I've got to put up the Air 2S because the
Yeah.
Air 2S will give me what I need. I could use that one,
Mhm.
but I want the battery life of the Mavic 3.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna bring the Avata 2. I've got 4 batteries charged on that sucker, and when I'm finished, I'm gonna have fun. Hopefully I don't have to go look for it in that 350 acres.
But don't fly away too far.
You got a bunch of ponds, everything else. I got a fishing pole in my car too, you know. So it's gonna, but that's quick money. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, my kids used to tell me, man, you got like $30,000 worth of cameras. Yeah, but how much money have I made with them cameras?
Mm-hmm.
Video created successfully.
Every year it doubles, triples sometimes the what I paid for it.
Yeah.
And I went to B&H about 6 months ago, and I went through and I looked at the latest and greatest and what I would need. And I stuck everything in a cart. And then I saw the price. I said, "Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need nothing." It was like 28,000
Oh wow.
just to get 2 bodies and the lenses I need that I use.
Wow.
28
Yeah.
grand.
That's because you were in there shopping like crazy. He's like, I'll take 3 of those. Shit, we'll take 2 of those.
No, one of these, 3 lenses and 2 bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning,
Yeah.
recovery.
Yeah, yeah. Just the bodies on the cameras I was looking at was $7,000.
Oh, wow.
Joe went to
I said,
Walgreens,
you know
got a
what?
couple disposable cameras. So that's all I can
And
get.
you know what I'm mad about? They got a company, Fred Miranda, that sells used photography equipment. It's usually pro photographers. And if you buy something, you're gonna get exactly what they tell you, and you're not gonna have an issue with it. It's gonna be like a refurbished or whatever. And I went on there the other day. I haven't been on it in a long time. I went on there the other day, and I use a Canon 7D2 outside at night. That's my primary because it gives me everything I need. It's fast enough. It gives me the 1.6 crop to give me the extension. And it gives me if I lock it at 10,000, I can keep grain out of everything.
Mm.
So it gives me exactly what I need for nighttime high school sports. And it's a
Right.
camera that if it hits the ground, it's not $5,000,
Mm-hmm.
right? They don't make them anymore. But every once in a while, you find them on Fred Miranda.
Right. Yeah.
I found one. The guy had 40,000 clicks on it,
Ooh.
which is brand new. Basically, 40,000 is nothing. I've got one with 182,000.
Oh, is
Oh,
that right?
wow.
That's why I've been reading up more, learning more about
Yeah.
camera and stuff. And they said that when you buy one, especially used, you got to find out what the click number is because
Yeah, because they got
can go out.
it's good for about 300,000. right.
Oh, okay.
And it was on there for 3 days and it sold 2 weeks ago.
Mm.
When it was brand new, that camera cost $2,700.
Mm.
Guess what he sold it for? $295.
That's it.
Oh, wow.
Man, I'd have bought that. If I'd have seen that thing, I'd have had it the same day. I'd have said, here,
Jeez.
ship it now. Because that'd have gave me another backup.
Yeah.
Now, if you
Yeah, that would
refurbish
have taken my 180,000 when they put it third.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have had that one would have been number 1 because it would have been the least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm
but
over 100,000 on 2 of them.
if you refurbish a camera though, does the clicks really matter at that point?
Yes, because until you change the sensor, it's not refurbished.
Right.
Okay. So that's the one part you have to change in order for
Yeah, and
that.
if you change the sensor, you might as well buy a new camera.
Mm-hmm.
But if you change the sensor, does it reset the clicks count?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like taking a drill to a car back in the day and rolling back the odometer.
You got a point. If I send the 7D back to Canon, if they will fix it and put a new sensor in it, if they have a sensor that can go in it, it would probably cost me more than buying a camera,
Mm.
Oh, wow.
or at least half as much. And it's not. I just bought a new one for the technology. But if you look hard enough, you can find these things. They got them on eBay. You know, I haven't needed one, but I saw my count the other day up at 180,000, and it works. It still works perfect. You know, it's like I've used it so much that it's plastic. I got some of the body's plastic in the back. It's white now because I wore all the color off of it.
Hmm.
I was looking at it the other day, and I said, "Wow, darn it!"
No,
Just my
the-
hand on that spot rubs it off.
Now you said they're rated for 300,000, but has there been people that have taken them to 400,000 or 500,000
Oh, yeah.
without any
I
issues?
had one years ago that was rated 180,000 and I had it over 250.
No.
Oh, wow. I bet you Justin has one of those that take a picture and the picture comes out and you have to wait 5 minutes to dry out.
Come on, Polaroid?
Polaroid, that's it. I couldn't come up with the name.
I don't have any cameras, to be honest with you, except for what's on my phone.
Come on, Justin. Come on. Tell us the truth.
Speaking of Justin, I thought you was a hero a couple weeks back, Justin. I thought you was the guy that saved all them kids in that rolled over bus.
Rolled over bus. I didn't hear about that.
Oh yeah, a couple of weeks back, some kind of accident happened. The bus rolled over. Kid was pinned underneath it.
One like that?
Oh no, I didn't hear about that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
one like that.
That's the one Paul sent you, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
And look, I've even got film.
Oh yeah, you can still buy Polaroid film.
Yeah, you can buy it from B&H. B&H has it. And it's not old film. It's good dates on it.
Oh, cool.
Walmart still
But-
has a Polaroid brand you can buy in the store. They have a couple little rows of them at the photo lab.
Eight color instant prints, 1999.
Wow.
Have
Yeah,
you
it
tested
still
that yet?
works too.
Like I said,
Yeah, I
that's the
shot
one
a
you
couple
guys, the
pictures
high
of
end
my,
model, Joe. Got the little leather on the top and the other places,
Yeah,
leather skin.
that's the SX70.
Yeah, that's the high end one.
But you got it if you don't have the flash cube bar or the electronic flash bar, you better be in sun. Better be in bright sunlight.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law, my wife's brother, has one that still with the film in it that you take. You got to press the button to take the next
And it just
picture.
folds.
Mm-hmm.
And it's even got a leather thing.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, you'd have been big time back in the 70s.
Well, I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
with that mustache and hair, yeah, I've been big time with that.
That's an antique.
Yeah, that's the one that was on Paul's shelf that he wasn't doing anything with. And I paid the shipping, he gave it to me.
Yeah. Well, like I said, there's a lot of things on Paul's shelf that ain't doing nothing.
You gotta work.
Did he crash a drone the other day?
No, not that. Oh, he did a few weeks ago.
That the one he found, or he crashed another one since then?
Yeah, that's the one he found.
No, he
Oh,
hasn't
okay.
crashed one since then. He just hasn't been able to fly because his truck was in the garage because he had a bad brake leak. And
Oh,
so
okay. Okay.
TJ was trying to convince him yesterday to fly from his house down to the river.
I mean, technically the river is only about what, 2 blocks from his house?
No,
Joe did
3,700 feet.
Yeah, Joe did the
37
yeah.
So depending on
Paul.
which direction you want to fly, huh?
Oh, Paul had
Yeah,
every
look at that. Me with that picture, with that outfit, with that camera, I'd have been big time.
You look like Jeffrey. You look like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Is that you, Joe?
Yeah,
That was you back in the day?
yeah, that was me.
Holy, look at that.
That was
Arnold
that was the
mustache.
day of my prom. Look at that!
Where's
Look at that
the
outfit,
junior
man.
senior prom pic.
Wow,
I
look
was
at all the
groove
hair,
kicking,
man.
man. Groove kicking.
No, but Paul had every excuse in the book why he couldn't fly from his house. He was trying to convince us there was like 1,000-foot trees between him and the river. And
How's that one?
that don't even look like you.
I know. I was
That
just
was
going
when
to say that.
That was when I was in the band right before I went to the Marine Corps band.
I
Wow.
can tell you were in the sun a lot more than you are now.
Yeah, and then one of my favorite pictures. Here you go. One of my favorite pictures.
There you go.
That don't look nothing like the person that was in the band. Are you just pulling random photos off of Google?
Wow, has he changed, eh? Holy smokes.
Wait, I get another one. Wait, hold on.
Hey, Joe, did you hear about
Yeah.
that mess with the Marine Corps band and some of the top selected kids in the country.
Oh, that's not you.
No, I didn't.
Oh, dude, look up. I think it's either 60 Minutes. It was on Sunday, I believe it was, that these top kids across the country were supposed to play with people in the Marine Corps band as a special concert, and it got canceled because it was under
Wow.
the DEI program.
That was my senior picture. Look, I still look that good, man. Look. Had that
You look
Tony
handsome.
Orlando, that Tony Orlando haircut.
Hey, Dre,
Yeah.
how do you like your extension on your Power 1000? What is that called? Power 2000?
Oh, the Power 2000.
Yeah.
I have no complaints. I haven't had to use it yet.
Uh-huh.
I just went ahead and set it up, and it's fully charged. It sits in the living room next to the piano.
Okay.
'Cause I ain't had any more room in my office, but we're ready to. It's ready to be deployed wherever the power
Okay.
goes out again.
Oh shit, Dre's toys are starting to seep outside his room into the rest of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His wife's gonna kill him.
How's that one, Justin?
Telling you. You look like way
next
different in
time we
every
get
damn
the
picture you
Santa Ana
show.
I
Wings
know, I was
again,
just
Lance,
about to say that.
Yeah.
we'll put it to the test. 'Cause I know they're gonna shut the power off. We get some.
Anyway, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna keep changing my look. What?
And so what does that give you, Dre?
It gives me a total of 3,000 watts of power.
Okay.
So basically, with those two things hooked together, I can power my fridge for about 3 to 4 days easily.
Okay.
Oh wow.
And here's one with my brother from another mother. I mean, from another father.
Look at that sergeant there.
Which one is you,
Yeah.
Joe?
That salty sergeant.
Yeah, that was right before I became a staff.
They'd have gave me that rocker. I'd have stayed in and did 20.
Where's Matt at so he can tell us about the DJI Power 10,000 he's got?
Dude.
Oh, he just cleaned up his yard the other day. His yard got pretty torn up by that hurricane they had.
Well, Michigan.
No, Matt.
No,
Matt,
They got a
Matt?
or
He
what
cleaned
they
it.
They had
call
a
a
hurricane down in
cyclone.
Australia.
the cyclone.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a cyclone. Was out in the outback? He had a cyclone hitting.
Yeah, he had
Had
his,
kangaroos
his,
everywhere, didn't he?
his house made it through just fine. It's just the yard got torn the hell up. So he had to
Mhm.
go out and clean everything up.
I mean, he didn't jump on his massive scooter and flee the area. Mm.
He said he's been
What's
really
up
busy
with
with
the new
work. So.
name change, Justin?
What do you mean?
I noticed that when you do your stream, it's under a different name. It's not the other name that you stole from the other people.
My Steam.
Yeah, you've changed from Infinity to Demon.
Yeah, because I was just trying to find a name that was more searchable in the algorithm. Because that one not, you could not find it. It just for some reason YouTube didn't like the other name. So
Well,
I
maybe
found
because
one.
there's too many of them.
But well, no, and the thing was I was the biggest channel with that name. And so it still wouldn't come up in the list. Like it was impossible to find it.
I thought somebody else had a bigger channel than yours with that name.
I don't think there was.
Oh, don't hurt his feelings like that. Come
But
on.
I switched it. But ever since I switched it, it's readjusted correctly. So I just left it there.
It's like the guy goes to the bathroom, then he's got to figure out. Got to do something else for compensation.
Well, start, little man.
You don't want me to come to Florida, do you?
Maybe call you. Oh, you should have saw him on the other day, Dre, when he was showing pictures of his son deadlifting like 350 pounds. Talking about you gonna whoop his son's butt.
He was squatting 440.
Or 440, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that is not a walk, bitch.
What?
What?
Oh, I'm
Why are you talking
downtown
to Steven that
Seattle.
way?
I'm downtown
Why-
Seattle, and there's some woman walking her husky across the sidewalk, and it's a no walk, and it's a green arrow for me. Almost ran her over.
No, they do that shit all the time here. You'll see them push the button and they'll be waiting and then they'll go anyway, even though it says not to walk.
Mm.
Well, can't they get done for jaywalking for doing that over there?
I've seen people jaywalk right in front of cops across a 4-lane highway and they didn't do anything. So I don't think they really concern themselves with that too much.
I don't think it's even illegal in California anymore.
I might not even be a rule here, to be honest. I don't know.
There you go, Dre.
Okay.
Oh, well.
That wasn't a good lift. You bent way too much over at the back, at the waist area. That one. That was
But
better.
you can tell him.
Yeah, he's been
Right
too
there,
far.
right there. When he was coming up, you gotta shoot them hips through.
Yeah.
Oh, I can do that, no problem.
That's what I told him. I could do that. He said, bring it on. And he got this one here.
This
Oh,
the
he
one
should
that's
be bending
opposite.
that back more. He's not bending the back.
A different type of lift.
He's not using his knees.
Well, I was
That's
wondering
what
if he was
Officer
wearing a
Joe.
back brace because he didn't even look like he had a back brace on, but it was hard to tell if he had one
Yeah, I'm
under
gonna
his
ask
shirt
him
or not.
about it. I keep forgetting to ask him.
Yeah, he has one. It's under his shirt. You can tell.
Yeah, I think he did. I think it was under his shirt.
He
Yeah, it's on
definitely
his
wanna
shirt,
be
you can
wearing
tell.
one of those.
Mm.
But when he sent them to me, I looked at it and I said, man, that's all you did. I used to do that. It's a piece of cake.
Key word, used to.
Yeah, one in each hand.
I told him,
Joe,
I said, I'll come out there and I said, I'll come out there and do it, but I'll embarrass you. So, you know, he said, no, you embarrass yourself because you ain't going to be able to lift it. That's what he said.
Hey Joe, you can send him my video, my birthday challenge video, and then
Yeah.
you can tell him. I said when I was a cop at your age, you couldn't tell him you couldn't even hold my jaw.
Yeah, there you go. You see, if I tried to do that thing he just did, that last one, I'd look like SpongeBob
Ah,
with all the arms long.
You're dating yourself, Dre.
ah,
Getting hold of my jock strap.
that's right. You
Something
couldn't
we
hold
did in
my
high
jaw.
school.
They don't even wear them anymore. You know that?
I know.
They
Not
don't.
required to.
They wear their underwear, and they don't
Yeah,
shower.
it's stupid. It's stupid because when I was playing a catcher, I had a cup, everything else, right? I got hit in the cup one time and it
Mhm.
put me to my knees. And these guys out there playing baseball, softball, not softball, baseball, basketball, all the sports, and nobody wears one. Football,
Mm-mm.
I had a cup in football.
Mm.
Shoot, if I was playing football now, the first thing I'd be going after you is your nuts. I'd get you down.
Here they require at the high school you have to wear a cup because I had to take my nephew a few years ago. Me and my sister took him shopping for all his equipment, and he
Mhm.
had to get one. The high school required he had one.
Yeah, I used to have a
Yeah,
cup playing cricket, but I kept spilling my tea.
And I'm sure you never drank out of it.
He just said he kept spilling the tea.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I know my senior year of high school, I wore something similar to a girdle, and that was basically to keep me from pulling my hamstrings.
yeah, and we wore jock straps and a girdle. I did
Mhm.
anyway.
Yeah.
And the
I've
girdle
got
just kind of kept everything tight.
Yep.
I've got an athletic bag from East Jefferson, the one I graduated from, that's got all my sports, things, that a cup, my jock, everything's in there. That was my grab bag. It had my baseball glove, got everything in it, right? And my son was looking through it one day, and he pulls out. I got 2 cups in there. And he pulls out one of them, and he looks at it and he goes, "What is this?" And I said, "That's to protect you." You know, and then he goes, "What's to protect?" And I said, "Watch." I showed him. So that's the jock strap. It goes in, and you wear it like that, right?
Yeah.
And he says, "Well, you got this. This one's a heavy plastic, right?" And he goes, "This one looks like it's metal." I said, "It is. It's aluminum, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "But it's cracked. It's got a crack in it." I said, "Yeah, that's the one that the baseball hit me. Baseball got under my glove and hit me dead on. Put me on. I pulled this. I went straight to my knees. I just sat there like this.
That's all you
What are you
can
talking
do.
about? Hurt?
You ain't gonna
We're
get up and
probably,
run around in circles, that's for sure.
We're probably giving Brenda TMI.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, those were the days.
So where Paul? Paul went to get his truck.
Well, he got a phone call, and what he said is he'd go and pick it up later. So I assume it's ready.
Yeah, I thought he said he'd be right there to pick it up. That's what I thought he said.
Mm.
Did you ever tell you how much it's gonna cost him?
He said around
1,100.
1,100.
$1,100?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul had that
Ouch.
truck since 2011 and has never done
5.
anything to it. No.
To
that was-
No,
2005.
it's a 2005. He's had it since 2015.
Yeah.
He said he's only put around 45,000 miles on it, but
Mhm.
It's got
Well, it goes a
400,000.
mile down the street.
Yeah, it's got nearly 400,000 on it because it was a police vehicle.
but there's a lot of rust on his truck too, and
Yeah, well, that's from living in those areas from all that salt crap they put on the roads in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Mornings.
his back bumper, he said's got a bunch of rust holes in it. He's got a brand new bumper for his truck just sitting in the garage in a box.
Hmm.
Never had it put on.
Yeah.
But even with that low mileage and him being in an area like that, I could still see a bunch of shit under there all rusted up. I bet there's more shit under there rusted. But I guess they had to replace the brake pads and everything. From what he was
Well, they
saying.
gave him a
So,
list, but he don't remember what it was.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking if we did all that, that's not a bad price. $1,100. Yeah, that's not a bad price. They did all the brakes and the brake line. That's not bad. I know for my car, $1,100 is a normal brake job.
Yeah, I think they're changing everything out. I think he's got shoes. I think they're doing the calipers, everything.
Yeah, here he is.
'cause you had
It's
to get
not
those.
parts that cost, it's the labor.
I just
People are
picked up
charging
my
more.
truck.
Yeah, we guessed.
So what did they
So-
do on it?
So what did they do on it? What's the list of stuff?
Brake linings, rear flex hose, rear brake hose, rear calipers. Labor, it says brake line leak was rusting and leaking brake lines. Customer is aware. Replaced the ABS module to rear axle and rear over axle brake lines. Also repair flex line and hoses and rear calipers.
That's a hell of a lot
How
of work.
much was the labor?
Labor was 500.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was only
Total
600
bill
bucks.
was 1,082.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. The caliber is probably one of the biggest expense as far as parts.
Yep,
What year is the vehicle?
2005.
So I guess your brake pads must have still been good though.
Yep, everything's fine on it.
No, he
And
said,
it drove great coming home.
he said they replaced the brake linings. The brake linings are the pads and the shoes.
The
Yeah.
brake line.
Yeah.
Lines, not linings.
Yeah, but you said lining as well.
No,
He did.
brake line connectors, rear flex hose, rear brake hose, rear calipers with hardware. That was it. And then the labor on top of that.
Well, the hardware for the calipers will be the pads. They'll put new pads in.
What did, does it feel good though when you're driving it now?
Oh yeah. Just like a brand new truck.
No.
It's like an old truck that's been fixed.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But that's the most money I put into that truck probably in 5 or 7 years.
Well, that's good.
Wow, that's good.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can now actually write that it starts, drives, and now stops.
Yeah. Well, it did stop before. I never lost the brake, but what it was doing was I was losing brake fluid.
You hadn't gotten to the point of losing your brakes yet.
No.
It would have happened
they
at
would-
some point.
They would have still been spongy because the pressure that put the brake fluid out of the line wasn't actually applying the brakes. It was just squirting the fluid out. So you might have had front brakes, but you probably didn't have back brakes.
I don't know. They fixed it. I'm not a mechanic, you know.
You got it done. That's all that matters.
Yep. So Dre, how have you been doing?
Oh, I can't complain. You know,
It's
Sunny,
all right.
sunny
Even if you do-
California, right?
Even
yeah,
if you
Southern California, but I'm getting old. I've been battling a case of gout for the last
Oh.
3-4 weeks.
Who's been drinking too much port?
I wish I could say that, but not the case. I mean, it's just like it went from my left foot for about 3 weeks, and then it went to my right knee about a week ago. Now it's back at the left foot again.
Are the doctors helping you with it, or?
Yeah, I went to the doctor. I mean, doctors tell you what they tell you. You know, I had an X-ray when it was in the foot, nothing wrong there, and they did the blood work, and they said I just had a high level of uric acid in my system, and that's the main cause, high level uric acid. So I'm like,
Okay.
you know, they say watch your diet. I said, dude, I've been watching my diet for the last 10, 15 years. You know, being diagnosed as pre-diabetic, and then when I had COVID, it went to straight diabetic. So I'm like, I've always watched that because when they did my blood work, my sugar was great. So I know it wasn't because of my diet and me eating stuff I shouldn't be eating. It's just, like I say, my body's not processing the
Yeah.
uric acid like it used to.
That's what happens when you get older, Dre. I
That's what
notice it all
it's
the
getting
time.
old.
As I get older, my body isn't doing what it used to do, you know?
Right.
You drink beer, Dre?
No, I don't drink any alcohol. I'm not a smoker, you know. So I mean, all the obvious stuff. That's what the doctor's always so bad for. I said all the obvious stuff. You know, they can tell you, oh, stop doing that. I said they really can't tell me that because I don't do a lot of that stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
when you
what's the-
when you fill out your medical history, you're doing a lot of checks. Do you that? No.
That's it. No.
Well, the thing is
You know-
if it's not your diet that's causing, because that's where Matt has a problem with gout, is sometimes it's just because of his diet, and then
Mhm.
he'll switch it up and it'll go away. If that's not what's causing it, then how the hell did they get rid of it?
Like I say, just they say uric acid is in everything that we eat and drink. It's about how your body processes it so it doesn't
Yeah.
build up.
So maybe you need to be on an egg diet.
Yeah, like I said, I'm drinking a whole lot more water, try to help to flush my system,
Yeah.
see what happens. You know, the doctor couldn't say much because he
Dusty.
asked about my exercise, and I showed him my video of my birthday lift, and he's like, "Say, well, I can't say you're not exercising enough."
Yeah.
My buddy, he cannot drink one beer. If he drinks one beer, his gout hits him in his feet.
Mhm.
He can't walk the next day. And he
Yeah.
was he used to love his beer. Now he doesn't. He drinks it.
Yeah,
out
and
of
that's the sad thing, Lance, that I
Not
can go
bad.
to bed perfectly fine. and wake up the next day and can almost fall to my knees trying to get to the bathroom because now I can't walk.
Yeah.
And it was like the first thing everybody will ask you, what did you do? I said, I haven't done anything. I went to bed fine, wake up the next morning. You know, and I said, especially when it went to my knee, oh man. I was like, I kind of felt it in the middle of the night. My knee was a little tight, was telling me it's swelling up. And I get the next day, I said, the foot's feeling okay then, and now the knee's messed up. So
Yeah.
all last week, you know, it was the knee part on the right side. And I told my wife, I said, about Sunday, I said, I'm starting to feel a little something in my left foot. The knee's still slightly swollen, and now the left foot's swollen up.
Try sleeping with a pillow under your feet so that it raises your legs up slightly.
Yeah. When I get home, that's what I usually do. I get up in the bed. I don't even watch TV. I just get home, get in the bed, elevate my feet, all that kind of good stuff, man. I'm here at my office. I got my shoe off. You know, I said, if I wasn't on camera, you guys, my foot would be up on my desk. You know, and it's just, like I say, getting old, it just sucks because, like I say, you don't heal like you used to heal.
No, that's true.
And that's the biggest thing where something used to bother, like even a common cold, something we would shake off in, you know,
Especially
2 or 3 days. Now it hangs around for 2 weeks.
Especially when you're diabetic.
Yeah.
Then it heals even slower.
Mm-hmm. So that's, and then my wife's trying to play. My wife is so paranoid about stuff. She's constantly on the internet reading stuff in magazines. And she swears like, well, I should have went to a doctor with you. I would have asked this question. I said, me and the doctor had a good conversation about everything. So there wasn't no need. You was going to ask something different.
Good morning, time to fly.
I know.
So as I continue to live and breathe, it's just another thing I got to be concerned with.
That just means your wife cares about you, Dre.
That's what she says. You promised you was going to be around before we can travel. I'm like, I said that just so you would want to go travel.
I got 10 more years of nagging with you. You ain't going anywhere.
And stuff. Yeah. So once I figure out, you know, my routine as far as what I need to be doing, as far as my diet and whatever else I can do. Because like right now, I purchased some supplements because they say the best thing for gout is a supplement that has tart cherry in it. So I have one coming. I already have another one that has cherry powder and everything. And it says you got to take 3 of those with each meal. So I'm like, okay, we'll try this out, see how it works out. Because I'm not a big medication guy. You know, it's got to be something else that I can do naturally to handle this.
Shoot, I just went this morning to have some blood work for my appointment tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I get a message from my other doctor. He put just 5 minutes after I left, he put in for more blood work.
Mm.
They could have did it all at one time.
Yeah.
So I got to go Friday now and do it.
Mm.
Dude. You don't tell me what blood work it is. I might have done it this morning because I'm doing the same kind of blood work, maybe.
Right.
Now, it does say I can't have alcoholic beverages till like 6 p.m. the evening before, so that's out. I'm going to do it Friday. I had a glass of wine last night around 10.
And dusty.
Yeah, I know what this is. This is the A1C test. Because you can't have any sugar, no sugar-free stuff 10 hours
Right.
before. That's what he's
HbA1.
doing. He's trying to check my A1C, trying to put me back on Ozempic. I'll cancel that bitch appointment. I ain't going back on Ozempic. Now, I gained 5
What?
pounds in the last 3 weeks, and I can feel it.
Them 5 pounds was costly, huh?
No, I can feel it. I know what I'm feeling. I'm feeling it in my breathing.
Mm.
I'm actually feeling it in my breathing.
Hmm.
Well, the way they advertise that stuff between Ozempic and Ogovi and everything else, it's the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
I gained weight when I took Ozempic. I lost 50 pounds. They put me on Ozempic, and I maintained my weight, and then I gained weight.
Mm.
And I stopped taking it. I told them I'm not taking it anymore. It gave me acid reflux, gave me constipation, and I had a heart attack thinking it was acid reflux from that.
Oh, you're on Ozempic when you had that heart attack walking around the complex?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I thought it was acid reflux because that's what I went to the cardiologist and I said, every time I eat, I have acid reflux. It's going on. And he says, the Ozempic. He's saying the same thing, the Ozempic. Checked everything, had EKGs, had electrocardiogram, everything showed I was good.
Justin was taking
when
bets.
my chest is hurting out there, I'm taking pictures at the game and I'm belching and I'm saying, well, it's acid reflux, right? I was having a heart attack.
It's the fact that there's too much fat in your food. Ozempic does not react well to fatty foods.
It's supposed to stop you from eating fatty foods, but I'm in Louisiana, dude.
Yeah, that's why.
You know,
Joe's in Louisiana and they keep passing by that Jimmy John's too much.
now Jimmy John's the other night came out with a new sandwich. They said toasted sandwiches. They're gonna start toasting them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now Jimmy John's is notorious for the ones that just put together on the bread.
Right.
They're good sandwiches. So I said, I'm gonna get one of the toasted sandwiches. They don't know how to toast a sandwich, so I'm never getting one of those again. It tasted terrible.
Okay. No, I'm good.
It
Throw too much
wasn't a
jambalaya.
good sandwich.
Mm.
My neighbor took me down.
You know, so
Thanks, buddy. Hey, how's Annie Ann doing?
but what I was gonna say. When I ate that thing, it was actually nasty. It didn't didn't have the same flavor for some reason.
Mm.
No, so I'm never buying a toasted one again.
Maybe they didn't put the same condiments on it since they toasted.
It had, I mean, it had all the oils, the vinegars, all the other stuff on it. It just didn't. It had the same stuff on a regular Italian sandwich, but it didn't taste the same as the other one. I like the other one better. So
Did they toast it before they put the stuff in it, or did they toast
no,
it?
they toast. It's like Subway. Subway puts everything on it, the main stuff on it, and then toast it and puts the rest of the stuff on it. Now Subway, they do a good job on toasting sandwiches.
Mm. I know with Subway they usually throw the meat and cheese on it and then throw it in a little oven thing.
Yeah.
And then they come in and put the rest of the
They put everything else on it
afterwards.
That's just to melt the cheese. Yeah.
Yeah, just to melt the cheese with all it is. Heat the meat up.
Yeah, that's all they're doing. I think they put the whole thing in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Just didn't taste right.
Well, I remember at one place, was it Quiznos? They were famous for toasted sandwiches. All their
I've
sandwiches.
never had Quiznos. I've never had Jersey Mike's.
Mm.
You see, because the thing is, in Louisiana, even Subway and Jimmy John's, we got every little grocery store sells po' boy sandwiches.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So why do I really want a Jimmy John's when I can go get a roast beef po' boy, or I can get a shrimp po' boy somewhere else for the same price, and it's gonna be better stuff.
Yeah, you guys always had the delis there to get a sandwich because like that's part of the culture down there. Out here, it's hard to find a deli in Southern California, I should say, that just make you a sandwich. Most of those places are closing up.
Yeah.
You walk into a deli and get a sandwich made for you.
We have a little meat market here called Sire's Meat Market, and this guy, he's got the money, and you want to buy some real good meat, go in there and get the meat he's got. It's good stuff, but he's got a little deli in the front that runs, and my brother gave me a gift card for it this year because he knows I eat there every once in a while. So I went in there the other day and got a shrimp po' boy, like $10, and then I went there. I was passing it yesterday. I said I want a roast beef. That roast beef po' boy It's 10 inches long. And if I would have taken half of the roast beef off of there and had another 10 inch, I could have made another sandwich.
Mm,
I mean, it had so much roast beef on this thing.
yeah.
It was like you couldn't take a bite. You got to take a bite, it'd be falling out.
Mm.
I mean, it probably weighed a pound. Probably put a pound of roast beef on it.
Wow. You
Yeah,
know,
it was $10.
like I
You know?
can't never get used to their roast beef sandwich. It's Arby's. I don't know what it is with their sandwiches. It just don't taste like roast beef.
Yeah, what I do is I buy them when they have the beef and cheddars on. Like you buy
Uh-huh.
one get one free. I'll buy them. Or when
Hmm.
they used to have used to be five. Was it 5 for $6 or something like
Yeah, I
that?
remember
Two
that
for
back in
six
the day.
dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it was 2 for $5. They had them the regular roast beef sandwiches. Now it went up to like $7. But I'd go swinging through there because when I'm out running and I just want something fast. If I
Right.
know I'm gonna come back at 9, 10 at night, I don't want to eat at 9 or 10 at night.
Right.
So I'll grab the two $5 roast beefs, but I make sure I get that horsey sauce and the other sauce, and I doctor it up a little bit.
Yeah, because I say this by itself, it just don't have the right flavor to it.
It doesn't have the spices in it.
That might be what it is.
Yeah, that's all it is. Because around here, like I said, you go to Walmart in the deli and
Uh-huh.
get the Manda Cajun roast beef.
Mm.
Man, I tell you what, it takes you 2 or 3 days to get the smell out your car
Oh,
just by
wow.
bringing it home in a bag. You know,
Uh,
you walk around if you carry it or if you got it in the car and you're in the car for like 20, 30 minutes, it
uh-huh.
smells on you for 2 days.
Mm.
That's how much spice in that thing. But I tell you, good roast beef sandwich. Oh Lord, boy, God darn it.
The big
Well,
thing my wife, because she's
there
from
can't be
Philly, is
too much
trying to
good.
find a place that makes a good chili cheese sandwich or a Philly cheese sandwich, I should say.
There can't be a lot of places in down in the South where you are, Joe, that really has good for you food. It might taste good, but it's not necessarily good for you.
Well, you got places that have good for you food, but it don't taste good. Yeah.
Well, I remember I was just telling my wife were just talking the other day, and I was telling her how over the last 6, 7 months, I really almost cut out rice out of my diet. And I was talking, I said, as a kid growing up, and I know you probably heard this a lot, Joe, being from the South, is that people would tell you about me have something to stick to your rib food.
Yeah.
Rice was always a part of that because rice, being to make up what it is and how it absorbs stuff, stays in your system a lot longer, so you don't feel hungry as much. But because it being a starch and the way it absorbs other foods and stuff like that, that's one of the things that'll cause you to gain weight quicker than anything else is rice.
Now there you go. There's a shrimp po' boy from Size.
Mm-hmm.
$9.99.
Oh, wow.
Got enough shrimp on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dressed, got lettuce, tomato, shrimp, pickles. And look how much is in it. That's $10.
Where's that?
That's what that's from Siam Meat Market. That's
Okay.
what I tell everybody. I said, I'm in Louisiana. I'm Catholic, but I don't practice the Catholic religion. But they say you can't eat meat on Fridays, right? Now, does that look like a sacrifice? That does not look like you're having a sacrifice eating fish in Louisiana.
Yeah,
And
well, it's not every
eat the meat.
Friday now.
But still, but you're not sacrificing nothing eating this. This is like a delicacy, you know?
In fact, there are only 2 days in the year now where they apply that, and that's Ash Wednesday and Good Friday.
Yeah, yeah.
Every other Friday, you can still eat meat.
Yeah, well, I'd rather go ahead and I'd rather eat the meat and if I'm going to sacrifice anything, even though, like I said, I don't practice it, I'm going to sacrifice anything. I'd rather sacrifice not eating seafood, you know? I was gonna say this was their roast beef sandwich, but I must have made this because that's not enough roast beef. It would be like from here to here just with roast beef. I made that one because there's cheese on it.
I'm surprised you don't eat more lamb over there.
Nope.
I know, but
I,
to
I
me,
cannot stand lamb.
lamb tastes nicer than beef.
Llama ding dong.
Can't stand it. Cannot stand it.
I don't know
The
too
guy
many
used-
people that eat lamb over here. You?
Yeah, that's what I mean. You don't eat a lot of lamb over there.
Well, that's
Yeah.
because we have a select palate what we like and don't like.
No, that's true though. I mean, the main three meats you always find in stores is beef, chicken, or pork. Occasionally, you'll see lamb chops and some, like even Walmart will carry them every once in a while, but it's not a very often.
Here you go. Now that's a sandwich. You get the po' boy, you get the turkey, you get the gravy, you get the dressing, and you get the cranberry. And man, a little light layer of mayonnaise.
No, I'm good. Take that fucking cranberry off there. That's
I was
gross.
just about to say that, Justin.
That is
Cranberry
a
only
good
goes
sandwich.
on turkey. You need
Oh,
horseradish.
That is a good sandwich right there.
You need a little bit of
Horseradish,
ketchup.
Horseradish,
no.
English mustard, and fried onions.
Cranberry on sandwiches. I don't like it though. I think it's gross. Just my opinion.
You need
This
a little
is
bit of
it right
ketchup
here.
as well.
Paul would love this meal. You ready?
What's
Paul
it-
would eat everything on this plate.
What's a Pepsi platter?
You'd eat everything on that plate. Sweet potato fries, the vegetables, and the steak. You'd eat everything there.
Yeah.
He won't touch that broccoli.
No. Now the broccoli'd go to the curb, but yeah.
Is that small carrots, baby carrots?
It's baby carrots, broccoli, cauliflower, sweet potato fries, and a nice little steak.
Just needs a nice, thick onion gravy over it.
You should have saw last time when Paul had a glass of water, he almost gagged. It was
When I was cooking all the time, that was my food. I used to put those up all the time.
You need an egg, an over easy egg over that steak. Oh,
Look at that. Man. There you
dude,
go.
eggs on food now is like having gold.
Gumbo.
Yeah.
You're asking for a lot.
That's
That's
gumbo,
actually red
right?
No, that's actually red beans. I can see the bean. That's the red beans. I got a gumbo in it. That's a gumbo.
If we go into a burger place,
That's the
they
gumbo.
will give you an option of having an egg on it as well.
Oh yeah, an over easy egg is pretty good on some burgers.
Yeah.
I've actually had that. It's pretty nice.
Joe, you're making me
And then
hungry.
there's others which go
Yeah.
really weird and actually put hash brown on your burger. What the hell for?
Hey, Paul, this is one of my air fryers right here. This one right here.
Yeah.
It's an air fryer, but it gives you like 12 or 13, it's like 12 things right there that you can do with it. You can air fry, you can slow cook, you can grill, you can bake in it and everything else.
But it's not a ninja.
That's because you're a chef.
I'm not even gonna
Oh,
lie,
look at
Ninja
that.
products are
Mm.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I have.
They're
I have the
expensive.
double one.
Well, they are bloody expensive too.
There are, yeah, I was about to say they are expensive, but man, they are some nice machines. They do exactly what they say they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Dre,
the-
Dre,
that's the power.
you cook or do the family cook, Dre?
Yeah, my wife is the main cook out, during the spring, summer, I'll grill. On the Fridays I'm off. If I don't do any drone work, I'll go to the local store to the butcher shop and buy some kind of meat and throw it up on the grill. And
Oh, I
have some
seen when
sides.
Dre was grilling last year. That should look good. I was like, Matt, that's how you grill.
Yeah.
Take a lesson.
But mainly it's the wife, like I say, when the weather's nice and I start grilling, she likes to come on a Friday because I'm off and she ain't got to come home and cook nothing. So that's usually
Hey.
my extent. But we got those fancy ovens in the house with the air fryer oven. Well, I don't even know how to turn the oven on in our house. It makes so many different musical tones. I stand back with a little wine like I'm conducting an orchestra. Between the washer and dryer, the dishwasher, the microwave, and the oven, and the refrigerator, all make musical tunes. If the door's ajar or whatever else, dishwasher's doing something, the oven's doing something, let you know if the laundry's doing whatever else. It's like dee 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 dee.
Now, what do you
Yeah.
call that?
I even made sushi. Look,
That,
Oh, wow.
that's sushi?
yeah, I looked like I had a little Asian in me, didn't I?
Yeah.
Dre, I sent Matt a video of your barbecue and I told him, I said, take note. This is how you do it.
Man, nothing like a nice barbecue steak.
Yep.
Oh,
I told my
especially
wife
on
the other day, I said,
mesquite.
that's what I want. I want a nice fat steak. And I got some out in the freezer that we bought at Costco about a month or two back. So I'm just waiting for the weather to get a little nicer. And we probably be up in the 90s next week. So I'll be probably grilling next week.
Nice.
Oh,
Especially
yeah,
when you marinate it leave it in the fridge overnight and you cook it the next day. Oh,
Yeah, usually, like I said, with the steaks, I just keep it very simple. Thaw them out, heavily season them with the salt and pepper, throw it on the grill.
and I'll tell you what, there's nothing like fresh mesquite from Southern California and grilling a steak with. Oh, that's good. Go out to the desert and you get yourself some fresh mesquite.
Hmm.
This is Justin's favorite right here.
All right, what the
Some
hell?
old easy eggs and some grits and sausage.
Oh, look at that. Those eggs.
You can get rid of the
Justin?
grits after.
Justin
Where-
loves grits.
Justin,
Joe,
what
what's
the
that
hell
white
did I
stuff in the
call-
back?
Well, I don't, Justin, do you
That's-
put
that's
some
grits.
on your grits, or are you a butter and sugar
What's
guy?
grits?
I don't like grits.
Grits?
It's
like
like a
grits?
cream of wheat
It's like
type of
porridge.
porridge made out of corn, ground
Yeah.
corn, basically.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
like
instead of
grits.
using
I-
Grits is that
Mm.
grits is one of those stick to your ribs food also. That's why
Yeah, boy,
folks
does
down
it.
south eat grits morning, noon, and night. Don't matter what meal. They can throw some grits on a plate.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm
I
with
don't
you,
like-
Justin. I don't like
I don't
Come on,
grits either.
Trevor.
Yeah, I don't care for grits, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, I
Like
never
said,
heard
all
of
depends
that.
where
Because
you
y'all
grew
never
up
had
at.
good grits.
Like me, I eat grits with butter and sugar for breakfast only. Go down
Yeah.
south, dude, you have folks eating grits for lunch and grits for dinner.
I like putting
Yeah.
maple syrup on my porridge.
Here's a quick meal right here. That's an Alfredo bow tie pasta with grilled shrimp and a crab cake.
Man, you're making me hungry,
My wife
man.
loves crab cakes.
Stop it. Stop it.
Anyway,
Yeah,
I
I do a lot of cooking.
I have heard the word mesquite, but what the hell would I have called it?
Wood.
Hey,
I don't know. What's the French term for mesquite?
Yeah, like I said, it's just
Mesquite?
wood.
what is it? Just a tree?
Well, mesquite
Yeah,
is
what-
a special
It's a
wood,
tree.
right?
It's
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's
it's
what
not
you put,
so much a tree as like a big ass bush,
right.
is what it looks like. And you can just grab mesquite off of it, and then mesquite a little bit goes a long way because that shit burns hot.
Just like
you
you hear
don't-
people that grill using apple wood, peach wood, cherry wood,
Get you.
you know.
So you're just using it to smoke it,
I
basically.
Yeah.
thought that was
Yes,
just
but
for smoking.
mesquite-
Yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah,
mesquite
that's
will
what I'm
give
saying.
the
You know,
meat.
you can grill, smoke, whatever you want to call it. It gives that different I would say scent that goes onto the meat. And if you
There-
really want to get fancy, well, you start injecting your meat with different flavors, citrus stuff or other type of juice and stuff like that. I used to get real serious about my ribs, injecting the ribs before I put them on the grill. Inject them and then season them down, marinate them. It used to be like crazy, but that's like a 2-day process.
But mesquite, it does put kind of like a really good like natural flavoring into the meat. Like I've literally cooked steaks without any seasoning, and it tasted fucking wonderful.
Now, what
Yeah.
is in mesquite, Justin?
Just a type of wood.
So it's the wood flavoring. It isn't some kind of other
No, it's-
flavoring.
No, it's just the natural flavoring you get from the wood.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all
But
it
there's
is.
only 2 places in the country where you can get mesquite. I think it's what, Southern California and Texas, I think. Are the only 2 places where it actually grows. But
At
we
first, I
have,
thought you were talking mosquitoes.
but we have big mesquite bushes like right outside our back door, about 100 yards out into the desert, and that's all we use. We never use charcoal or propane or anything. We just use mesquite. Because like I said, it doesn't take much neither. Like one mesquite log, I mean, mesquite burns really hot, so you don't have to put a whole lot in your barbecue.
Like I said, a lot of folks just use it for the flavoring. So like people who use propane grills, they'll buy mesquite chips and put them in a
Yep.
little tray that basically just heats up the wood, and you're getting the flavoring off the wood.
Yep.
And then you can buy charcoal that has mesquite in it that gives you the same effect.
Yeah, I bought it here before, the mesquite chips and stuff.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different ways you can use it and get it.
Well, can you
Usually,
send a
like I said,
box?
usually I'll get the charcoal with the mesquite flavoring or whatever bits in baked, incorporated into the charcoal.
Can you ship me a box to Canada so I can try it out?
Well, I don't have it here where I live at anymore because I'm in
Now,
Florida now.
how does it come in like logs, or does it come in like chips?
Well, it depends how you want to buy it, Paul. Like I said, they even have charcoal that's mesquite infused in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can buy, if you use a charcoal grill, you can buy mesquite. Kingsford has it.
Yep.
What's the other big brand charcoal? Help me out, Justin. Matchlight.
Matchlight, yeah.
Yeah, Matchlight, Kingsford. And I think there's one other brand, nationwide brand that I know they have mesquite.
Walmart even has their own brand with it in it.
Yeah.
But
You
I
can
bought
pick
the
it up just about
Matchlight with
anywhere.
it. Yeah, I bought the Matchlight with it, and it's pretty good. It's not bad.
Yeah. Now we
Hey,
start
Joe, did
using
you
other
read what
woods,
Travis said?
like say if you want to use apple wood, cherry wood, something like that, then you have to buy it somewhere that sells those wood for grilling purposes or
So
smoking.
with a name like Matchlight, do you start it with a match? Is that it starts?
Yep. That's the whole thing with Matchlight. It says you don't need no lighter fluid. You just throw a match in it.
Yeah, their charcoal is soaked in. It's like soaked in a lighter
So
fluid.
just make sure you
already,
don't
so
lean
don't
over
have to-
too far, cause poof, you ain't got no eyebrows no more.
Oh, we
You
get
definitely got a
stuff,
point there.
we get stuff that you can buy where it comes in the paper bag. You just put the whole bag there and light the bag.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen those.
I'm sure you could find mesquite up there in Canada. I'm sure they got mesquite chips or somewhere.
Yeah, like
You
I
just-
say, if they
you
sell
probably just never
Kingsford,
noticed them,
Matchlight,
Ed.
whatever, you can get some mesquite.
Well, Ed probably just never noticed them because he never looked for it. So
No, we use the propane tanks.
I mean, I can buy lots of different types of wood chips for smoking, stuff like that on eBay.
Right. Yeah, like you said, in Canada, they you just said, so you can, if you get a Home Depot up there, I'm sure you can buy mesquite wood chips that you can put into the tray of a propane one.
Actually, I'm going to Home Depot today to get a can of paint, so I'll look for that.
Yeah, go over to the wherever they got the grills at, all that kind of stuff. You guys still got what, 6 more months of winter?
No,
and like I said, Ed,
what are you talking about?
Ed, like I said
only
too.
got like 3 days of summer.
What? No.
That's Seattle. That's Seattle.
But like I said, Ed, a little mesquite goes a long way. So don't fucking dump a 5-pound bag in your grill.
So I can use that in an aluminum container and put it on top of the flame on my propane thing.
Yep.
Barbecue.
You can buy little smoke boxes
Right.
for putting in propane barbecues.
But yeah, like I said, a little bit goes a long way with mesquite. You don't have to use a lot.
I'll try that.
Like a little handful or two would probably be enough if you're just cooking like a steak or something.
Hell,
No, me fucking. I'll dump the whole bag.
They ran in the house, turned round in the hallway, and ran back out again.
I have seen people that weren't familiar with cooking with mesquite, and they put way too much in, and they ended up burning the food before it was cooked because it burns so fucking hot.
And don't do like I did one time. Put regular charcoal in, and I couldn't find a lighter, so I threw some gas.
What's up, Trevor?
Oh, I've
It
started.
worked. But
Joe stepped back and said, that's a fire.
it worked, but it got kind of hot real quick.
Definitely gotta make sure that them coals don't down to that ash level. We cook like that. Be having that gasoline fumes in your food.
I usually use them little paraffin cube wax firelighters.
I usually just buy the fucking charcoal, like Joy said. I just buy the ones that already got the lighter fluid in it.
Yeah, I
Then I
do
can-
both. It depends on what I'm buying. Usually, if I buy Walmart has sometimes, or Home Depot have the double bags for a
Yeah.
low price for Kingsford. Remember how you used to do that all the time, Justin? I know Walmart used to do it, and I think
Yeah.
Home Depot does it. They'll have 2 big bags you get for about a third off.
Yeah,
And
because
I-
it'll be like, say, $10 for one bag, but then they'll give you 2 bags for like $12 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And usually I'll pick those up right about before. They usually have them on sale right before
Star Trek
Memorial Day
Voyager on Pluto.
here in the States. And I
No,
usually pick up a bag that'll last
Star
me till
Trek
about
Voyager on
maybe
Pluto.
midsummer if I have to buy some more.
Paul, what the hell are you looking up? I just heard you say something Voyager on Pluto.
He's
yeah,
watching
he's
Star
watching a
Trek.
television show.
Yeah, there's nothing any good on TV today, so I just pulled up Pluto TV and Star Trek Voyager.
Oh,
Yeah,
Thought
you
there was
ever
some-
use Pluto TV?
nah. I have in the past, but I don't really like
It's
it.
a freebie service, which is nice.
No,
No,
you
I
gotta
can
have
get-
Roku.
Dude, I can
Roku's
get-
best.
I can get all the free new movies without those.
Do you
Yeah,
you
you
watch
gotta be
it?
careful
Do
when
you-
Justin says he can get stuff free. He's not ripping off the neighbors.
yeah.
I
Yes.
know what websites to go to get all the latest movies.
He has a cable connected to his neighbors.
Yep.
Yeah, we found that out a couple of years back. Justin talking about, oh yeah, I got free internet. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Going to
just
find
tap
out
in.
he was tapped into the neighbor line.
Actually, what's funny is the neighbor's fiber optic line. The guy came to bury it. They knocked on our door one day and they said, "Hey, we need to run the fiber optic cable through your backyard. Is it okay if we come back there?" "Oh yeah, sure." So the guy came back and he dug along the fence line of at the back of our yard, buried the cable, and then within a week the cable was on top of the ground. It's been sitting on top of the ground ever since. Because the guy didn't bury it very well.
So what did you do? Put a T in it?
No,
Run it the other way.
honestly, I've never fucked with fiber optics, so I don't even know how to tap into that if I wanted to. But I have my own fiber optic line, so no. Yeah, I'm not even sure how you go about connecting a fiber optic line like that, like splicing into one. I've never done that.
Man, have you looked inside of one of those, man? So many little tiny wires.
Oh, they're just tubes of, a lot of them are tubes of glass and stuff. And I don't know how that all works. So I've never done that. But I know a guy on a backhoe hit a fiber optic line over by Legoland and hit a gas line, and it cost his company $120,000 for both lines. The fiber optic line was like $60,000 or $70,000 to fix.
Wow.
He knocked out the internet for the whole city.
Yeah, we did that about a year ago for the university. Oh man, were they pissed?
People get fired over stuff like that.
Well, Justin used to go around and read meters, and you'd see a whole bunch of stuff, wouldn't you, Justin? Justin?
Give me a second.
Anyway, what I was saying was Justin used to tell stories about when he used to read meters and stuff. He used to see some of the strangest stuff going on.
Oh, back in the day, people used to put a cup of water on top of the hydrometer. They used to say it's slow down the meter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cup of water on top of the meter.
Yeah, the glass meter. I don't know how you guys have it there, but here we have it for the hydro. It's a
Uh-huh.
plastic cover that goes on top,
Right?
and then you have the meter. So they used to put the cup on top, and it would apparently it's supposed to slow down the meter.
By what osmosis process?
God,
That's what I'm trying to grab.
That's what they used to say, man.
You say, oh, okay. I'm trying to think what could be in water.
Somebody used to do it, and it worked.
Oh,
The meter
wow.
wouldn't go that fast. I won't mention no names.
So what, how could you tell that it slowed it down? Could you actually see the meter move slower? Or,
Your
the
bill
would
would be
lower.
cheaper.
oh, just the bill would be cheaper.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the electric meter.
Yeah.
I really don't see how water would change the way an electric meter works, but
Mark, that's why I stopped thinking. I was like, okay, if he tells me that's what they did, that's what they did.
yeah,
Because I'm like you, I said, what could be in water that cause something through osmosis or some type of connectivity, conductive properties in water that would make something electronically slow down?
I mean, the old electric meters used to work on electromagnetism to spin a disc.
Right. But I can
I
see if
can't
there
see how
were,
water would slow that down.
well, I'm gonna say I can see if there were high levels of minerals in the water that will become energized that would possibly could slow the disc down.
A big a big magnet would probably do it, but
Yeah,
That's what they used to say, man.
yeah. Oh no, we're not. Like I said, there's a lot of things that we've heard over the years. So I'm like, what me and Mark are sitting here trying to think. Okay, what properties could actually be in the water that would cause that to occur? But like I say, that's what they say. That's what they say. Hey Joe, did you ever get the find out how that picture of that kick what it up for picture of the year or something?
Joe,
You're muted,
you're
Joe. Joe, you're muted unless you're on the phone.
Yeah, you're on mute. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, the All-State Sugar Bowl committee needs this guy's action shot and this guy's action shot. So I found the same game and make it look more, uniform, because it could be on the same poster. They come to me for that lately.
Well, I was asking you about that picture of the possible block
Yeah,
kick. I know you told me it's up for
it's
picture
been
of the
put
year.
in, but we won't know. They don't vote on it till like mid-July.
Oh, okay.
But I have been told that I'll show you the three that are in. Come on, dogs. Hold on. Somebody's walking around outside. Okay. Here's the picture you're talking about, right, Drew?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a cool picture.
Yeah, that one's been put in for picture of the year. And then this one has been put in for picture of the year. And what I like about this one is the mouthpiece right here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's telling a lot about the hit, right?
Yeah.
And this one's put in for picture of the year.
That's
And this guy
7 right there.
he actually caught that ball.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
He caught it with one hand and brought it down. I wish I'd have caught him catching with one hand.
Yeah.
And I've been told by 3 different editors, don't be surprised if you come in first, second, third.
Hey, Lance, how you doing?
I told him, you know how hard I'll be to live with.
Back from Seattle.
I
Back
like
to
that first
Seattle.
picture that you posted. It looks like the guy's holding the other guy up like this, like a ballerina.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but they told me, they said, they said, you've got so many of them, we got the two of them, the first two I showed you. And they said,
Mhm.
find a third one, because we could put 3 pictures of yours in. And because they're letting them put, each photographer's putting 3 pictures in this year, if they
Yeah.
put them in, if they want to. So
Mhm.
I went and grabbed that one out the back and sent it in, and he says, don't be surprised if you don't pull at least first and second, you know?
Mhm.
And then this year, I'll show you this year's, hold on. The ones, we haven't even started this year yet. And I got 3 pictures already. This one right here, we had a similar one just went about 4 years ago. A similar one won first place. Just because of the tag's about to happen, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say if it'd been maybe a half a second later, that would have been awesome. Her right there, a
Yeah.
little closer, the tag a little closer.
I think this one's better myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the tag.
Because he's
the actual
trying to
tag.
get around him, and that's the final
Right.
out of the game, right?
Yeah,
But I'm gonna show you the one I like the most. I like this
that's
one
a
the
good
most.
shot. That's a really good shot. I like
And they're
that.
saying they're thinking this one could take picture of the year for this year already.
Mm-hmm. That's really
You know,
nice.
I mean, she's all over this girl. She makes the basket and she got the foul. Because you notice she's still coming in.
Right. Yeah, as I say, she's not in position fully.
Yeah, she wasn't set.
Yeah.
But that's
wasn't set.
Alana Benoit. Remember that name.
Mm.
That's going to be another Clark. Because she's going to hit 2,000 points this year. And she's going to, she may hit, I can't remember what the coach said the other night, but triple doubles, she's already got, shoot, in 3 years, she's got like 45 triple doubles.
Well, now she's a senior.
No, she got 1 more year.
Oh, she's only a junior. Wow.
Yeah. She, like I said, she's got like 42 triple doubles,
Hmm.
you know, in her 3 years. And they said some stuff. Her sister, Hannah, played too. And her sister ended up with, I think, 1,300 points. She's got 1,700 already
Hmm.
in 3 years. And they were talking about at the banquet that when her and her sister, last year, she came down the court with her sister. She was to run the court, but her sister was to take it down. And her sister would send her the ball. I didn't know this. I'm paying attention, taking pictures. I'm not watching them. And the coach said that she flipped the ball over to her sister and she'd kick it back to her. And she says, "You taking it down, I'm running it like this." And she says, "Well, practice." She says, "It's not my time to practice. It's your job." And they'd be arguing with each other coming down the court. and they only lost 3 games last year. You know? Now, not this year, but the year before when her sister graduated. But she'd tell us, when it's my time to bring it down, I'll bring it down. But it's your time. And they said, I noticed they'd pass it back and forth. But I never knew that's what they were doing. They're arguing with each other. But she's very good. And she made, at the banquet, she made my plate of food look like I was on a diet. I had a good 2 inches of food on my plate, high. Hers must have been 6 inches. Come on, Loki.
Mr. Lance, how was your flight this morning?
Good. I'm looking at them now, and I'll show you my hyperlapse here. You guys want to see it?
Well, I saw your video, Lance, explaining the issue with the voice and video sync.
Yeah, figured that out.
Yeah.
Here's my
I watched you
hyperlapse.
the roads this morning.
Oh, that's
hyperlapse
beautiful.
this morning.
From I think that was last night's.
We got the ferry going across on the left, on the right, I mean.
Now that's from this morning?
Yeah,
Oh, that's nice.
and then I have another one that was a little lighter. I haven't looked at it yet. Let's take a peek here. There's one that's a little lighter that I zip by the Space Needle. See all the ferries coming in. And then I have one reversed coming back. I don't know if it's this one or not. Let's see. Yeah, this one. It's only about 5 seconds. And then I think I have one going back toward the needle. Let's see here. See what I did. Yeah. Again, not very long, 5 seconds right there. So anyway, a little bit of fun this morning. And then I shot a pano. I like this pano. Which pano do I like the best?
Well, if you're sharing, Lance, you're not sharing.
Oh, okay.
You're doing a lot of talking, but
Yeah, so you haven't seen any of that. Okay.
no.
We saw the first couple.
Okay, let me. So
Yeah,
here's
we saw the one over top of the city. Yep.
Okay. So
Okay, and
there's
you
my-
said this one is lighter?
Well, this is later in the morning. Yeah, this one. This is a pano, and this is the music Hall of Fame museum.
Okay.
And but yeah, so there's my pano. Let me show the other one you probably didn't get to see. Let's see. Hold on. This one was later in the morning. And let me share it. Window, share, and start it over.
Okay, yeah, you can see some of the boats out in the harbor.
Yep. Ferry comes rolling in. Boats are going in and out. For that one. And then I've got one even later. Let me find that. It's even lighter. Is this it? Yeah. This one's a little jumpier, but here, let me share it. Share that guy. Share. You see it getting pretty light here. Toward the end.
Well, you can actually see it getting lighter as it goes along.
Yeah. And then one last one that is much lighter than that even. It's going to be this guy. Share this. Share. Window. Share. And this is the last one. I had to bring it down. Battery ran out. But anyway, kind of fun. To.
Yeah. Well, you're having a good time.
Yeah.
What was that thing that went across the sky there? Was that a plane, Lance?
That was a cloud.
On that last one.
That was not no cloud. That I was looking deep into it, man. That's not a cloud.
On the last one that you saw.
On both of them, the two last ones that you showed, there was a white thing that went right across.
Okay.
Unless I'm seeing things.
It was a UFO.
I didn't see one there.
Well, Lance is still learning photography. It might have been a lens, or one of those.
It was
Oh, yeah,
another drone.
that's a plane.
Layers Flens or whatever the fuck they call them.
Lens flare.
This
Lens
is a
flare.
plane here. Let me share that.
It would probably it was hyperlapse. It was the sun.
Right
Oh
there.
yeah, I saw it. Did you see it?
Yeah, so that's a plane. And right over here on this side, there's a lot of seaplanes land, but not this early in the morning.
You could tell at the angle it was taken off. It's just really fast. Is the
Yeah.
hyperlapse.
And Justin was a cloud. Come on. I mean, you thought that I was seeing things here.
New Jersey drone.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I remember that whole debacle. And then Trump got in office. He comes out, he says, it was just shit the FAA was testing. And apparently it was them the entire time.
It was
And then,
the
oh,
company,
obvious.
it was the company that was making the drones for the military, testing them
And then it
with the
was all.
FAA's permission. Yeah.
Well, the thing was, is it was also a mixture of hobbyists and people around the city that were flying their own drones too. But yeah, it was turned out that the big ones everybody was seeing were just, they all knew about it. But then it was just crazy how all these agencies were like, oh, we don't know what it is.
Yeah,
We're
it's
gonna
not
start an
about those.
investigation.
Hmm.
Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna call it.
You packing it in?
Packing it in.
He's gonna go
Joe,
test some new
Joe's
brakes.
got editing to do. Jason, what are you gonna do today? Justin,
I don't know what Jason's doing. You have to
what
call
about
him
you,
and ask him.
Justin?
I don't know. I'm probably not
I have
doing
no
anything
editing,
today.
Paul.
Sarah's got to go to Tampa today with her best friend to go wedding dress shopping. So I'll be
Oh.
at the house all day anyway. So I ain't got shit.
I'm
to
not
do today.
editing anything. I'm just selling pictures.
Well, you're collecting money then.
Well, they've got to pay me first.
Okay.
I got people asking me about pictures over the weekend.
Well, her best friend's getting married, so they're gonna go look at wedding dresses at some place in.
Oh, is she in the wedding?
No, they're doing a small, like, just immediate family wedding, and then they're gonna, because they're doing it in like Kentucky or Arkansas or something.
Okay.
Random ass place. And then they're gonna, when they get done with that, they're gonna come back and then like do a ceremony thing here for everybody. So she's not having any bridesmaids or anything. So that's the problem. If you're gonna throw a wedding, you know, and you pick somewhere that's far away from where most people are at, you know, it's kind of a pain in the ass for some people to have to try to get there, you know.
Yeah.
Majority of her family lives here in Florida, which means they're all gonna have to fucking travel to some random ass state that neither one of them have family in. I asked Sarah last night, I said, I don't get that. I don't know why they pick some random ass state that neither one of them have family in. And to throw a wedding, and then everybody in their families are gonna have to travel to there. That's just, to me, doesn't make any sense. So.
Okay, fellas.
Okay, Paul, thanks for putting us on.
Yeah, you have a good day. Ed,
you,
thanks
Leonard.
for coming in. Mark, Joe, Justin,
That was a cloud, Ed. Don't
and
argue.
Mark.
No.
Jay,
Oh, Jersey drone, Jersey drone.
See you
Jersey
later.
Drone. Okay, bye-bye.
That was nice shots there, Mr. Lentz.
thank you.
Happy ones.